It is good to have viewers on another fresh edition on Let's Discuss program. Nigeria is taking able steps forward with the launch of electronic civil registrations and vital statistics system. The aim is to streamline birth registration and as well to ensuring that every child is counted and protected in the country. So that will be the focus on the program today as we examine the adoptions of digital birth registrations. I am Adebare Ejimakide, and I'm not alone on the program. I have my co-anchor on the program, Oluchi.
Good day, viewers. Thank you for always being there. Yes, as Ejimakide rightly put it, Nigeria is taking a very big leap forward for the introduction of the e-birth registration. And today we will be discussing the benefits the country stands to gain, the benefit the citizens also stands to gain. Keying in into the e-birth registration exercise, we have a guest in the house, someone eminently qualified to lead the discussion on today's topic. She is Mrs. Tinola Adeboye, the State Director of the National Population Commission. You're welcome to the program, ma'am.
You're welcome to the program. It's
Thank
good
you
to have you on the program.
So when we talk about digital birth registration, what does it entail?
It is the registration of births of children below 18 years, but it is digital. Digital in the sense that you will use electronic devices to capture the events.
Okay. Electronic devices.
Yes.
When you say capture, children below 18 years,
Yes.
even for newborn babies?
Exactly, 0 to, actually birth registration, it's from age 0 to 18. But we have a program that we have started the training Monday and will commence tomorrow from the 1st to the 15th of August. We have absorbed volunteers who we will send to the field to capture children between the ages of 0 to 5 years.
So when you talk about the field, what do you mean? They go to people's homes?
Exactly. That is it. We go to homes, we visit maternity centers, we visit churches, hospitals, wherever we can see children, and we have the caregivers that will give us the information with them.
Does it mean that those people above the age brackets of 0 to 18 cannot be captured by this innovative registration?
They will and they can. But for this drive, which is being sponsored by UNICEF, it is only for the children ages 0, that is from day 1 to below 5 years.
Okay.
But anybody between 5 years and below 18 can visit any of our registration centers in the state to be registered.
Yes, you are talking about the registration centers. The President Tinubu has just launched a national committee, I think under the NPC, to ensure these electronic civil registrations and vital statistics systems. What was the mandate given to the people, to the committee, concerning this birth registration?
The mandate is to register every birth in Nigeria. We want every birth to be recorded.
No.
Because it provides a lot of information for the country. Between the intercessor periods, when all births are recorded, we'll be able to update our records. That is why we need everybody to come out and register their births.
Now, talking about updating records, Nigerians have always, felt that we have too many agencies that are into registrations. The road safety will register, the NIN, NIMC will register theirs, then
Custom.
Custom will register during elections. INEC too would take vital data of citizens and still register. So what is going to be the difference? What difference will this e-birth registration make? What role will it play in ensuring that these multiple registrations are linked?
This time around, we are working in collaboration with some other federal parastatals, like the NIN, the National Identity Card. They are even there with us at the training ground, because we are going to link the NIN to the registration. Every parastatals have their own mandates, and although it is there interwoven, but we operate differently. Like the INEC that you mentioned, they deal with people 18 years and above. Those are the ones they have records for. We have records for children born. We have records, even civil registration have records for all events and activities that happened in the lifespan of an individual. From birth to marriages to migration to anything, even to death.
Yes. Okay, what are the benefits of engaging in electronic birth registrations? What benefits are waiting Nigerians?
The National Population Commission have been embarking on vital registrations, I think since around 1989 too. But normally, formally, we were into the manual type of registrations.
Okay.
But this time around, we are going into the electronics, the digital. Because even the national population, as at now, we are fully digital. We have gone into the digitalized every event that we got. Even the rescheduled census was supposed to be digital. So the difference is that we have a database for every record that will be put on it. Even in cases of theft, loss, fire outbreak, you can come back to our offices. We will just keep all the database and we can print out another copy for you. So that's the difference. Normally before, if there is a loss, you have to come back. Other to re-obtain another one. Or if you are above 18 years, you come back for attestation of that. But this time around, it will be different because we already have your information in the database.
So one of the benefits that is a replacement of the missing ones.
Exactly.
Do Nigerians still have anything to benefit, or can it be served as a useful data for governments for planning or development? What's your view?
Actually, it provides additional data independent of censuses.
Okay.
You know, we have a time lag between censuses. The last time we had a census in Nigeria was about 18 years ago. But with adequate registration of birth plus death, we'll be able to have reliable data that can be used by the government for the planning for the populace. You don't have to base anything on assumptions. Now you have a data that you can use instead of assuming that we should be this between the intercessor periods. So it provides a reliable data independent of the censuses.
Thank you very much. Most of the time when government brings about a policy in Nigeria, there is always room for it to be bastardized. We've had reports of people registering 2 times, having like 2 voters card and all the rest. People having record different types of data with the FRSC, and what different will this one make? What are the unique things that have been put in place to ensure that it is not bastardized?
This time around, you cannot have 2 certificates. Because like I said earlier, every information will be keyed into the computer and will be entered into the database. We will capture the faces of the children and they will be linked to the name of the parents. And you know, parents, it is impossible for you to have 2 identities. That is something that has not been done. They cannot duplicate national identity cards. So once it is linked, you cannot be duplicated. Once your information is keyed into the database, it will show that you have been registered once and you will not be able to register twice.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you You were saying something about the other time that this approach, new approach, is a total change from the manual strategy to digital systems of having the records of the birth registration in the country. What factors could have been at this for this reason? Because the manual also, they are available and people are very used to it. Why is the need to shift to digital?
Like we said, the last question she asked was that people abuse information in Nigeria. They try as much as possible to obtain 2 or more certificates. Like when we were registering manually, people can go to one local government to go and register, and they can go to the next local government to register. Even if it is possible, you can visit 2 or 3 or 4 local governments in a day, or even registration centers to register. Because every center operates independently of the other.
So this will help to solve the multiple
registration issues
and all those issues.
Because this time around, it is impossible. Any registration done in Lagos will reflect in Osun.
Okay, who are also Osun indigenous?
Indigenous. So, and if you want to come back to Osun to obtain another one, it will be impossible because you have registered and your information have been keyed into the database. So it will be impossible for you to come back and obtain it anywhere in Nigeria.
So you said your officers will be out from the 1st of August to the 15th of August. So when they go out, how would they be identified?
It's like the program is in collaboration with the UNICEF.
Okay.
As of today, they were planning to give them aprons as a means of identification with the logo of the National Population Commission and UNICEF on it.
Okay.
And we are working in collaboration with NOAA. They have gone ahead into all the local governments, all the wards, all the regions, to tell everybody that this also people will be visiting your areas, so you should cooperate with them. And we have had jingles on radios and televisions to inform people of Osun State that our volunteers will be visiting them from the 1st to the 15th of August 2024 to register the birth of children 0 to 5 years.
Now, after the 15th of August, what next?
We will continue the digital registration, but it will be done at our registration centers. In Osun State, we have 117 registration centers scattered all over the local government of Osun State. So you can visit any of the registration centers, the state office, the local government offices, and you will be captured.
Thank you.
Okay, what are expected of the people, the parents, as this program has just been launched now? You know, the officer will be they will be at strategic places. So what rules?
They will not even stand in a place, but they will visit their homes.
They will be visiting homes,
yes.
As you have just said. What is expected of the parents?
We expect the parents and caregivers in Osun State to cooperate with them. And secondly, they will have to take photos of the children they register. And they will need additional information, like the immunization card of those children and the national identity card number of the parents. So we are employing them to please release this information to them. They are not fraudsters. They are not scammers. They need this information to achieve the goal of the National Population Commission.
So what are some of the questions that they will be asking the parents?
They need the child's name.
Okay.
And the surname first, the middle name of the child, and the last name of the child, as the parents want it to appear in the certificate. Because normally we have issues that even after some time, the children, after they have grown, they want to change their names. This time around, it will be impossible for them to do so.
And the date of birth, all those things.
The date of birth. So, and the parents must be sure that they know the date of birth of those children. Because we have instances when the parents will even come, they might even tell us, hey, it is your registrar's that wrote something else, tell them this cannot be true. Because we have records. By the time we bring out the records, they realize that they made mistakes. So you should be sure of the information you are giving to the volunteers that will visit your home, because it will be permanent and cannot be changed. They will need the surname of the parents, the qualification of the parents, the names of the parents, the age of the parents as well, and the birth order, that is the position of that child in relation to the other children born by the mother, and the address of the parents.
Okay, so what happens when the parents are not?
On ground.
Exactly.
We have to have somebody, an informant, that knows the information properly, not just the child. You know, you are capturing children below 5 years, so they cannot give us the information. We need a caregiver to give us the information.
So it can be done by proxy. Very sensitive.
Yes, it can be the brother that is above 18 years. It can be a relative that has the authority and the mandate of the parents.
All right. Now, one of the reasons this program is being put in place is because, according to UNICEF, that they want every child in Nigeria to have a legal identity. Now, what are the benefits? I want you to talk to parents now. What are the benefits that a child stands to gain with a legal identity?
There are so many uses of the birth certificate. It's used in the determination of a person's eligibility for enrollment in banks, even in higher institutions, for admissions, even for the obtainance of a passport for migration, you need a birth certificate. Even for primary school enrollment, they ask you to bring the certificate of the children. For age group competition, for sports, a lot of children are involved in football now. They need their birth certificate. Even to be able, for entitlement to health care, for voting in elections, they need the birth certificate. It even helps in curtailing incidences of child trafficking. Because some people will say, she is my child. Okay. But if we can produce the certificate of that child, it will tell us that that child does not belong to that person taking the child away. Early marriages for girl child, it curtails it. We can see instances of old men getting married to children of 9-10 years.
Pedophiles.
With that certificate, it will prove, irrespective of the disposition of that child, you will know that that child is not of marriageable age.
NYSC scheme also.
They need the birth certificate because they have the NYSC. People more than 30 years cannot register for NYSC, so they request for the birth certificate as well.
All right, let's now look at the country as a whole. What does Nigeria stands to gain when it has a reliable data about the citizen?
Exactly.
It provides the stress ratio at that. We use it for planning.
Yes, I quite agree with you.
We have the sex ratio, the age ratio, even the provision of amenities for the populace. The government will be adequately informed. They will know the number of children between the school-going ages, the provisions they need for a community and the others. Provision of hospitals and maternity centers, healthcare facilities for the parents, even for the children. Those children that they need to immunize with birth certificates, they can always do this.
All right. What are the consequences of not participating in these birth registrations now? Would that be the contrary to all the benefits you have just
Definitely it will.
You examine.
For example, we said we use it to determine between the intercessor periods. The government can use it to know the provisions to be made for each locality and community or wards. If you fail to register, it means you are reducing the number of people in your area. So it will affect the growth or the development of the area.
The provision of
Provision of amenities can be provided in the area.
Thank you very much. Now, if this e-birth registration that will commence from the 1st of August to the 15th of August, if it is it continues that way, do you think there will be any need for the country to still conduct census again?
Definitely there will, because there is a difference between the census and civil registration and vital statistics records.
Okay. What are the differences?
Census is for everybody, both indigent and non-indigent of the country. We have people that reside in Nigeria that are not Nigerians. So they will count them because they take part, they utilize their amenities in the country. But civil registration is basically for children born in Nigeria and for Nigerians alone.
Migration is not inclusive.
The migration is not inclusive. So we have people that come into the country, they were not even born in Nigeria.
The marriage?
We have death records too.
Okay. Marriage?
But people don't come out to record their deaths because of the social and economic factors involved. Some people might be looking at the cost of registering deaths because they have to go to the court to make an affidavit of death, and it is only those that need it to obtain benefits, probably for civil servants that come to obtain death certificates, or those that have obtained loans in banks or microfinance banks and are there that cannot pay, so they will use it as an evidence of debt. But it's supposed to be for everybody in the country. So because of the social economic factors associated with debt, especially because people don't like debt, we are sympathetic towards debt, we don't come out to register our debt. We are freer to register that, but when it comes to debt, we frown against this. But even if you go and meet them, they'll tell you, no, we don't want to record our debts.
But with the launch of the e-registration for birth and death rate, do you see possible improvement on this one, in the registration of death and other vital events in the country?
I foresee a positive attitude of people towards this. Once they know the importance, they will come out to register their birth, their marriages, and stuff like that.
Is the registration free? Is all kinds of registration free, whether death, whether birth, or whatever?
It is free. But in case of death, you need to provide the affidavit, the High Court Magistrate Court affidavit. That is what costs them money. And the cost of transportation to and fro to the office.
So if a patient dies in a hospital and there is a report there that this person is dead, do you still need to go to the court to start making affidavits? Why all those rigorous processes?
Because people misuse these opportunities. We have even records of people that come to obtain death certificates for people that are still alive.
For real?
Exactly. Because they use this to obtain one advantage or the other. We have seen incidences of men and women that want to claim that their spouses are dead so that they can travel without the spouse or marry somebody else abroad.
Or at the same time to cheat the other
spouse
partner in terms of stock or whatever.
So we have had incidences of
fraudulent
people
practices.
that come to obtain birth certificates without the person being dead. So to reduce this, you have to go and swear an affidavit. That's what was, and you have to be the next of kin to that person.
Okay. Is e-birth registration and other types of events registrations, are they compulsory? Are they legal? Are they compulsory?
E-registration is compulsory. It has a legal backing.
I think.
And we have the Act 69 of 1992, otherwise known as the Birth, Death, Compulsory Registration Act. So you have to do it. It is legal and has the backing of the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
So people should know that it is compulsory.
It is compulsory for them to register their births.
Okay. Now, You said you will be moving to people's homes, maternity centers, and all the rest. This time around, schools are on holidays. Don't you think that would be more like an impediment?
It won't, because those children will be at home.
Okay.
And they'll be captured at home. We cannot even visit schools because the parents will not be with them in schools and will not be able to give information. The teachers don't know much about the children. We need the information of the parents. So we need them to be with the parents before we can capture them.
Okay, can e-birth registration be assessed? Can it be verified before the final printout? And if there is any error, how can the challenge be surmounted?
It can be verified even before and after it has been issued.
Okay.
In cases of verification before, when we were involved in the manual, we have to go back to our records. We have something we call the register.
Okay.
And in case of verifications, we have to go back to the register. The volume will be indicated and the year will be indicated. So we have to go back to the archives, take out the register and check it. But in these cases, we'll just key into the database and we can just know it has originally registered with the National Population Commission. We'll know the registration center, the state, and we can verify it. And when we have issues like that, it is possible even before we print out to edit.
Okay.
Okay.
So in the process, while the registrar is capturing the events and he makes the mistakes, it can be edited
Okay.
before they synchronize.
And will the information be made available to the registrant or the person that registered for the registration?
Exactly, too.
To be made available
Yes.
to that person for verification.
Okay. So
So
tell us the collaboration between MPC and NIMC.
Like because we are going to key in the name of the parents.
Okay.
So we have a collaboration with the National Identity Card Management Committee. As a matter of fact, their staff are with us at the training venues. So immediately we have a code that we input or we take the photo of the parents, it will show us the name of the person involved. So we have a collaboration, we have an agreement with the National Identity Management Committee. We even signed a memorandum of understanding with them at the headquarters.
Okay. So what if a child is adopted? What do you need? What are the requirements the adopted parents must produce before the child is registered?
It's like in Nigeria, it is recognized that we can adopt a child. And when you adopt a child, you assume and you take the position of the parent of the child. So it's just your information that we need.
Okay.
And even the legal certificate of adoption that you obtained while you are adopting the child. So that we will know for sure that you are the parents, the parents quote and quote of the child.
Of the child. Now you said that the e-birth registration is between age 0 and 18. Now, when a child has already been registered and the child eventually dies, how would the information get to you?
Except they come to register the death of the child.
Okay. So
For now, the e-registration is between 0 to 18 years. But the drive we are sending our volunteers to go to villages, to what homes to do, it's for children aged 0 to 5 years. Anybody above 5 years can visit any of our registration centers to obtain their certificates.
Now, if a child that is aged between 0 to 5 after registration dies, what should his parents do to get back to you so that you will have to record the death of that child?
They just need to visit any of the registration centers, any of our local government offices to obtain a death certificate for that child.
Okay.
While I was a controller, I've registered a death of 3-year-old person.
Wow.
So there's no age limit to the registration of deaths.
Okay, but do you see that happening often here? In this
It
part of
doesn't
the
happen
world?
often in Nigeria. People don't. You cannot even go and meet a parent whose child who lost their child. That please, come and register the death of your child, they will tell you, are you happy? Because I lost my child.
So tell us the implication
But
of
they
that.
have to do that.
The implication of you not registering the death of anyone, be it a child or an adult.
Because that person will still be included as being alive in the database. And will be summing that person up as part of the population of the nation.
Now, with all these challenges, do you think Nigeria can actually have an effective database?
We can,
Effective
and we
and
will.
effective. Okay.
We are moving forward.
Okay.
It just needs enlightenment on the part of the nation. And I foresee a better future for this nation and for the indigenes, especially for the people of Osun State. We can have a good record. It needs the cooperation of the people of the state.
All right. According to data supplied by multiple indicator cluster survey, MICS 2021, he said that most of the people at the rural areas rated their performance, their compliance to e-birth registration to about 78%, while those at the urban center was rated 44% in compliance. Why is it so? The people expect that people in the urban centers are more civilized, educated, they should be aware of this necessity. But why is it that people at the grassroots level they are compliant, they are rated high? What factors could be responsible for this?
I think it has to do with economic factors.
How?
It's like in the rural areas, if you have a program and you tell them, because of the respect, even especially when you go through their ballets and kings,
Okay.
and they enlighten them and ask them to go out, I want to tell you, they will comply 100%. But because the people in the cities and towns are busy, they might not have time. That is why we have a lot of people coming for attestation of birth. When the children are over 18 years, it will be too late to obtain a birth certificate, and you pay more for this because you pay remitter for attestation. Attestation of birth is not free. As at the time when you have free access to the obtainers of birth certificates, you refuse. So people come to obtain attestation because they fail to comply. Normally we ask them, we had an incident in the previous, I think about 2-3 weeks ago. Somebody needed a birth certificate for the children he wanted to take abroad. So he was pleading that they should backdate the certificate for him because the people expected them to have obtained birth certificate for children before they reach the age of 1. So I told him, at maternity centers,
Okay.
even in churches, registrars go, we plead with you. You tell us we don't have time now. We will come back later until those children are old. Although those children are not up to 18 years, but abroad they expect you as a parent. It shows that you care for your children because you have to obtain the necessary things they need for them before they reach the age of 1. The man pleaded, but there was nothing we could do.
All right. While we're still talking about these restrictions, for example, in JAMB, students have access to internet to print out their letter of results letters or whatever. Do people who participate in birth registration have access to print out the information, the certificate?
Yes, they will. For now, they don't. Because the e-registration, we have the self-help and the assisted.
Okay.
The self-help, you can go to the cafe or you can use your phone, register your birth and print it out. But the assistance is the one we are doing right now.
Okay.
Because our staff, the ad hoc, both ad hoc and permanent staff, we assist you to register and print it out for you.
Now, after this 2 weeks awareness program, which is going to start on the 1st of August to the 15th of August, where will your officers be found?
Our officers are on ground everywhere in the state. Like I said earlier, we have registration centers in all the local governments of Osun State.
Okay.
And not only local governments, all major maternity centers and hospitals and we have catchment areas. Even we have registration centers in every nook and crannies. Even the minor comprehensive health centers, you will meet our people there. Every time we know that they have immunization in that facility, we visit them to issue birth certificate to the children.
Okay, do you go to private hospitals too? Because
We
it's
do.
not everybody that patronizes
Yes, we do.
maternity centers.
Yes.
So, big private hospitals.
So
are
only
not
big
specific
ones, even the small ones
Okay.
that allow us, within the catchment area of the local government, we visit the hospitals too.
All right. Now, how many children do you hope to capture in Osun State within in this year?
We are looking at about 44,000 and something children.
Okay. From now to December.
Not till December, till for these 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the target for the state.
More than 44,000 students.
So children between age 0 to 5.
How visible is that, and do you have the resources and the personnel that can provide the desired results?
Yes, we do. Like I said, from Monday, we started the training of volunteers that will go out to all the wards in the state. And we have recruited almost 1,000 of them
Volunteers.
for volunteers.
Will they be motivated?
They will be paid, they will be given their transport fare, and they will be motivated. We have even sent them to the communities.
Now, this digital registration exercise requires the use of technology. And most of the time in Nigeria, Nigerians have always been accused of not having maintenance culture. Now, do you have any program in place for probably maintaining this equipment or replacing them when they get spoiled?
Of course we do, because it's the main mandate of the National Population Commission. And to keep the Population Commission in place, we have to maintain our laptops, our pads, even our PDAs, our printers, so that we'll be functional every day. We had such a program in 2022, and we print out certificates for people. But the problem is that majority of the people do not come back to collect their certificates.
Oh, so after the program, you only capture. They'll have to come to your office for the certificate.
But this time around, I think UNICEF is thinking of going back to disburse, to give back the certificates. We will employ people that will go back and give back the certificates, to distribute the certificates to the parents.
Okay.
On ward basis.
All
On
right.
what basis? Okay.
Yes.
So that is a shift from what's normally happening in the past.
Normally entails in the past.
So what are the benefits you intend to derive from this?
Because we will not keep the certificate in our office.
Okay.
Certificates kept in the FPC office are useless. We go out, we employ people, they obtain the certificates, but at the end of the day, the parents will not come back to collect the certificates, it will just be dormant there. This time around, we will go out, we'll print the certificates, and we'll take it back to the parents to distribute to them on what basis.
Okay. Now you mentioned the fact that you had somebody that came to your office 2 weeks ago because he wanted to travel abroad. He now decided to get a birth certificate for his children. Now, is your agency, actually seeking a legislation to make it compulsory for every primary school, every secondary school to request for birth certificate even before a child gets in, so that it will be compulsory for every parent to ensure that once I give birth to a child, I must obtain the birth certificate?
I think we do. Sometimes ago, we went to the government of Osun State that before registration of children into primary schools, they should request for their birth certificate, and I think they did it. But the problem is that most of these parents take their children to private schools where they don't request for this.
But
Can't
if
they
there is a
reject?
legislation, the private schools to key into it, don't you think so?
I think so. But
So,
we pray they will.
Do you have any plan of actually going through the State House of Assembly to make it
compulsory
Exactly.
for the parents
for
We
both
will-
public and private
private
schools to request for birth certificates as one of the
requirements.
requirements a child must produce, a parent must produce before a child is registered, both private and secondary.
Even
public
before
schools.
sitting for this primary 6 certificate, they request for their birth certificate, which they produce. And you know those children sitting for primary school certificates are not up to age 18, so they can always come at that time. But they leave it until too late. What I am just asking the people of Osun is that we don't have to obtain for a certificate when our children are grown-ups. Let's come and register our birth when they are between the age of 0 and 5 years. It's better that way, especially when you have to take them when opportunity arises and you need to travel. Because in foreign lands, they believe you have to obtain your certificate before age 1.
Thank you very much.
Okay, after this launch of this e-birth, which primarily focus on 0 to 5 age bracket, people who are intending to register will have to go to the centers, as you have rightly said. Okay, what measures are you putting in place to ensure that people are encouraged to visit various centers to participate in this exercise? Especially, what are you doing to make sure that there is adequate power supply? Because without power, power remains a challenge. Without power, these electronic devices cannot operate, cannot work when there is no power supply.
Especially those that are working in remote areas.
The computer system,
In all our local government offices, we have alternative power, which is generators. Even in a state office, we have solar there. So that even when we don't buy fuel, we use our solar system. So we have alternative sources of power that we use in our offices. So that we, at every point in time when you are there, we'll be able to print the certificate and give it to you immediately.
How do people know various centers where they can just visit? How will people know?
Yes, you have your centers, the addresses.
The centers, the addresses, at least some of them, if not all.
In Osogbo, we have a center in Social Women's Center in Sabo. In Lautech Hospital, we have a center there. In Ashubiaro, we have a center there. In Jala Hemi, we have a center there. And even apart from all the centers, we have catchment areas. Osogbo Central Hospital, which is a private hospital, there is a center there. In where else do we have the centers there? Lautech, Police Clinic, there is a center there. Oba Maternity Center, there is a catchment there. In Lie, which is in Olonda, there is a center there.
Okay, so you can visit any of these
any of
places.
those centers. Even in any of the maternity centers where they obtain immunization, our registrars are always on ground.
So after the 2 weeks awareness creation, after the 2 weeks birth registration for 0 to 5 year old children, the e-registration, e-birth registration continues.
Exactly. It's a continuous process.
So those that do not have opportunity to participate during this time can also
always visit our registration centers. And we have a center at the state office, Abere. We have a registrar permanently there.
Right.
So they can visit the state office also and they will be registered.
Now, advice, we want to advise the parents,
Advice to
now,
parents.
especially mothers, because we discover that yes, it is basically mothers that take their children out for immunization. They are mostly where their children are, with the children. What is your advice to mothers? Why do they need to actually key into this exercise?
Mothers out there, I want to advise you to please and please register your child. I want you to seize this opportunity when our registrars will be visiting your homes and register your birth. It's very important. We are the ones that even take our children to schools to register them. So that at that point in time, when they need that certificate, you will not be running etasketa and pleading with the registrars then to give you the register. Or you have to pay for attestation, because any child above the age of 18 will obtain an attestation of birth, which you have to pay remitter for. So to avoid these mothers, I am advising you, cooperate with the registrars that will visit your homes and obtain the birth certificate. Even if your children are above the age of 5, visit registration centers and obtain the birth certificates. Thank you very much.
Okay, what are the likely time period
for the commencement and closing of the exercise as your volunteers go out to different homes to do this? Can we have an idea of the time?
It's like in National Population Commission, we always want that to be flexible.
Okay.
We advise them, go when you will meet the people at home. Because if you ask them to go by between the hours of 8 and 4, some parents might not be at home by 4 because they will go to their places of assignments and work.
To work.
But when they come back, you can visit them and they will have the time to attend to you there. So we always make our time flexible so they can come anytime it is convenient for the parents.
Do you target religious centers as well?
Exactly, I said it earlier. We do that.
Okay.
So you have the intention of going to churches and mosques?
Yes.
All right.
That is when the parents, especially churches, the parents will be there on Sundays.
Okay.
And I think we'll have about 2 Sundays. So we have informed the registrars that they can seize that opportunity to and visit the religious centers to give them the birth certificate. Because they were even giving targets, and the target must be met.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Tinola Adeboye. She is the state director of the National Population Commission, and she has been telling us about the e-birth registration that is built to commence between the 1st to the 15th of August, where the agency, in collaboration with UNICEF, wants to register children between age 0 to 5. So if you are a parent, if you are a mother, if you know that you have children that are between age 0 to 5, take opportunity of this exercise to give your children legal identity. She has said it that it is very, very important for a child to have a name and to have a birth certificate. It is only when you have it, you give your child a name and you can provide a birth certificate that you'll be able to say, yes, my child is from this particular country. Thank you so much. Did you like it?
Yes, it is very important for every child to make sure that they comply to legal identity. It is compulsory, it is legal. So that's the complaint points which we shall be drawing curtains on today's edition of the program.
Yes,
but our special thanks to our guest. It's good to have you on the program, Mrs. Adeboye. Thank you for coming on the program.
And she is not here alone. She's also here with other officials of the agency. We have Alhaji Yusuf Muritala, Prince BC Adeoye, and Reverend Benga Osogbo. Thank you so much for making it to the program. So don't forget, August 1st to 15th is the day. Be at home, register your children, give them legal identities. My name is Oluchi Amuda.
I am Adibare Ejimakide. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Bye-bye.